There's speculation that the Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau, will step down before the next election and let another Liberal lead the party into the race. Mr. Trudeau is polling low with the public. Despite this, he remains firm that he will be running. Our guest says sometimes it's hard for politicians to step away. We are joined by the Honourable Sheila Copps, former Deputy Prime Minister of Canada, a Liberal, of course. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
We hear a lot of talk about this gerontocracy. Mr. Biden is 81. Mr. Trump is not far behind. Do we have this problem? Politicians will just not go?
I think there's a couple of issues. In the case of Mr. Trudeau, he's very young. He was probably, well, he was, I think, other than Joe Clark, was the youngest prime minister pretty much ever. So he's not old, but he's been there for 3 terms. And it doesn't matter if you are the second coming of Christ. After 3 terms, people want to get rid of you. I mean, that's the reality of the political world. In Biden's case, I think especially the convergence of events in the last few days and the attempted assassination attempt on Trump have made it almost inevitable that Mr. Biden will be leaving. But the column I wrote last week for the Hill Times was, why is it so difficult for politicians to leave? And people think it's about hubris. And I mean, Ernie Eves was the premier of Ontario, and he said the worst day in politics is better than the best day on Bay Street. And Bloomberg viewers might not agree with that, but there are so many things that you can do in politics. And most people, and I'm sure Mr. Trudeau is among them, when you're leading the country and you've got a vision and you're articulating and carrying out the vision, you think that you're the person who has to stay to carry on that vision. And I think Biden is the same way. He's hearing it from all sides that he's had a wonderful career and he should step down, but he's still insisting that somehow he needs to be there to carry the Democrats over the top. And obviously the polls say otherwise.
What if you drag down your party? I mean, if by staying one drags down one's party. You talk about Kathleen Wynne in 2014, pulled off a surprise victory in Ontario. Yes. But then in 2018, the Liberals were kicked out of office by the voters.
Massacred.
Yeah,
yes.
So is it sometimes time to say, look, well, I have a lot more to give, but I should fall on my sword here?
A rising tide lifts all boats. And in 2015, just about every person who got elected on the Liberal ticket was riding on Trudeau's coattails. Now it's the reverse. Right. So he's obviously getting lots of private advice. And I know from not just from caucus members, but also from cabinet ministers, some of whom are saying exactly that. But they're still saying it's his decision to make. And at this point, he appears, his office appears focused on maybe changing the finance minister or changing the narrative and not necessarily on him leaving. So I don't think he's gotten the message from the people who are surrounding him, but I think he's in a thinking mode this summer. He's taking 2 weeks off as of today, and I think he'll probably be reflecting on his own future.
I know this is a very hard question to answer. You probably have a lot of insight here. I don't know how much you can reveal, but is Chrystia Freeland as finance minister under pressure? Has there been a fallout between her and the Prime Minister?
She's been there for a long time, and in the beginning, she was almost seen as sort of the heir apparent to the Prime Minister's job. That is not the case right now, and I think, frankly, some of the leaked information that's sort of suggested that she's on her way out seems to be coming from the circle of the Prime Minister advisors who may think that will change the channel. I don't think it will. I think Ms. Freeland has been a decent minister and people reflect on that. But whether she goes and Mark Carney comes or whatever happens there, that's not necessarily going to change the narrative. I think the narrative has to be either a big idea, a great big idea that changes the channel on the ballot question. For example, the introduction of a guaranteed annual income could change the ballot question. Or the ballot question, if it is a political change, then it's going to be hard for the Liberals. And I think Seamus O'Regan's already walked with, reading the tea leaves.
Do you think Sheamus O'Regan, partly his departure was precipitated by the foul-up over the WestJet strike over the holiday weekend? He ran into criticism there.
No, I think he's pretty. I mean, he's got a pretty thick skin. He comes from the media world. He understands that a few days of bad headlines don't a minister make. I think he's looking at the tea leaves in St. John's, because that's going to be a very tough fight, and it's a riding that has flipped between the Liberals and the Conservatives, and maybe he doesn't have the stomach for a big fight.
Just finally, and I know we're into tricky ground here, why does Mr. Trudeau attract so much opprobrium? Why do people just seem to have it in for him? I
think my mother always said politics is the only job where the more experience you get, the more people want to get rid of you. And he's been the prime minister for a decade. His face is on television a lot. And sometimes people just say, I'm tired of hearing from him. I want to move on. So they're looking for change. But they haven't actually looked at what the change is. And I think that's the challenge for the Liberals over the next 6 months, to let people know, well, what is the change? Do you want to get rid of Dentacare? Do you want to get rid of Pharmacare? Do you want to get rid of daycare? Maybe that might change the channel for them.